Hi everybody, welcome to 2010. Gee, what an exciting year it seems if we're listening to the prophets around the world, if we're listening to what other people are picking up in God for this season, then there's real excitement, there's a real buzz about what God seems to be doing this year. And what is amazing for me is that there are certain times in God that it seems to be a landmark year between where you've been and where you're going. And we see from the Bible, it was certainly true that Moses' leadership brought Joshua and the people to a place, but then Joshua led them into a new season, and that was a season of great faith. And I believe that's the season we're in. I believe the church is being positioned into a new season and a season of great faith to release the things, the promises of God in another dimension. And for us as a church, there's three things that I feel the Lord is emphasizing to us, and I had the wonderful privilege to be able to share that yesterday. But essentially three areas. One is the supernatural provision of God, which is part of the divine exchange of the cross. And there's also a wisdom and revelation that God wants to release into the life of the church. And the third thing that I'm sensing and seeing is, of course, the release of new levels of power. And what's striking me and taking hold of me as a revelation this year that we want to work through as a church and release is really what consumed Paul was Christ and Him crucified. And we're going to explore what that means this year. What does that mean by way of living in freedom? What does that mean by living the way of love? And another proposition, another phrase that has struck me is the foundation of the New Testament. God so loved that He gave. God so loved that He gave. And it seems to me a lot of things can come together under two key revelations. God so loved that He gave, and also by grace through faith. And when we combine those things together, we get a framework that is outworked, that freedom expresses itself as love. Not worldly love, not the intellectual love that we think is important, not the soulish love that we think is important, but that willingness through the power of faith and the work of the Spirit to come to a place where we can say, I'm going to live in such a way that I give of myself first to God and then to others in the way of love. And that's a great challenge because we can't get there in and of ourselves. It's a faith place. It's a place of the work of the Spirit in us. It's the divine nature of God, the love of God coming into us and coming out of us. And I believe there's a great release that's coming for the church, not just our church, but for the church in this season. If we're able to walk the way of love, the way of learning how to give, learning how to serve, learning how to honor, to bring unity, participation and building, and I do believe there is significant increase that is being released and going to be released into the life of the church. I believe finances are going to flow this year. I believe revelation is going to flow this year. And I believe the power of God is going to be outworked in our lives and through our lives in new dimensions this year. It is an exciting time. It's a time of great faith. It's a time of leaving things behind and coming to new things. What we learnt in the last season positions us for release in this season. So bless you. I hope that we can talk again soon through this means. I'm off to Melbourne and then India this week. Again, the world is open up apostolically to many works, and God is moving, and we want to be where God is moving. We want to be in partnership with God. We want to be God's team that reveals and shows His goodness, His power, His kingdom wherever we put our feet. So bless you, and we'll speak again soon.